Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dissect those dense corporate filings so you don't have to. Today, we're diving into Prothena's latest 10K. Get ready for a roller coaster of drug trials, partnerships, and the ever-present financial tightrope walk. Prothena is a biotech company betting big on fighting diseases caused by messed up proteins like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. The name of the game for them is protein dysregulation, and they aim to fix misfolded proteins that cause diseases. But in this report, you will see that success in biotech isn't just about good science, it's about smart money moves and a little bit of luck. Let's find out if Prothena has what it takes. Scroll December 31, 2024/non-numeric. The report kicks off with the usual overview, highlighting their lead drug candidates. They are in all sorts of trials to treat different diseases. One to watch is berdomimab for AL amyloidosis, which is actually in a late-stage trial. They also have programs targeting Alzheimer's. Now, berdomimab is their main hope right now, and the big news is the Phase 3 AFFIRM-AL clinical trial. It's designed to see if the drug can actually extend the life of patients with a severe form of AL amyloidosis. The cool thing is they have what is called a Special Protocol Assessment Agreement with the FDA, which means the FDA has signed off on the trial design. Top-line results for this trial are expected in the second quarter of 2025, so mark your calendars. Another key drug in their arsenal is prasinezumab for Parkinson's disease, which is partnered with Roche. But Roche announced top-line results from a Phase 2b clinical trial in early Parkinson's patients. And so far it's had mixed results. It showed potential clinical effect but failed the primary endpoint. Roche is further evaluating the data with health authorities to figure out the next steps. Then there is coramitug for ATTR amyloidosis. Prothena actually sold this program to Novo Nordisk, but they're still entitled to potential milestone payments if Novo Nordisk succeeds with it. Novo Nordisk is currently running a Phase 2 clinical trial. This is a potential revenue stream for Prothena, but completely out of their hands now. Let's talk about Alzheimer's. Prothena has a couple of irons in the fire here. PRX012 is an anti-amyloid beta antibody that they're hoping will be a best-in-class treatment. They're also working with Bristol Myers Squibb on BMS 986446, which targets tau, another protein involved in Alzheimer's. And there is a dual A-beta tau vaccine called PRX123. The Phase 1 trial for PRX012 is ongoing. The initial data supports single injection once-monthly subcutaneous treatment and dose escalation. There will be clinical readouts starting in mid-2025 and continuing throughout the year, so this is a major one to watch. As for BMS 986446, Bristol Myers Squibb started a Phase 2 clinical trial, so Prothena will be relying on BMS to push this drug forward. They will also be relying on BMS for a neurodegenerative disease drug in development called PRX019, which is currently in a Phase 1 trial. So what does Prothena hope to accomplish? Their goal is to become a leader in treating diseases caused by messed up proteins, protein dysregulation. The plan is to focus on their scientific expertise, target diseases that lack effective therapies, form strategic partnerships, and maximize the value of their drug candidates. But to keep all these afloat, they will need a lot of money. Prothena anticipates they will incur losses for the foreseeable future, which is biotech for we're burning cash. As of the end of 2024, they had $471.4 million in cash and cash equivalents. But they need more to keep their pipeline going. This is a recurring theme in biotech, constant fundraising to fuel the expensive drug development process. Where is all this cash going? A lot goes into the Phase 3 trial for berdomimab, plus Phase 1 trials for PRX012 and PRX019, and potentially more trials for PRX123. This is the money-hungry beast that is the clinical trial phase. They will also need to pay for manufacturing, preparing for commercialization, if any of these drugs actually get approved, protecting their patents, and potentially acquiring new drug candidates. How do they plan on getting this additional cash? They will try public or private equity offerings, debt financing, or more collaboration agreements, basically all the usual routes. But the big question is, can they get the money when they need it and on terms that are favorable to them? If not, they might have to delay or scrap some of their programs. The company is dependent on key people, especially their CEO, Dr. Gene Kinney. Losing him or other key folks could really hurt their research and development efforts. Here is something you can almost bet will be in every single corporate filing from here to eternity: business disruptions. COVID messed up clinical trials. Geopolitical turmoil like the conflicts in Israel and Eastern Europe could disrupt clinical trial sites. And the company is headquartered in San Francisco, which could be affected by earthquakes. Then there is cybersecurity, which is increasingly important for every company. The bad guys are getting more sophisticated, and a successful attack could lead to loss of data, disruption of operations, and legal trouble. Of course, there are also the regulatory nightmares that every pharmaceutical company face, such as changes in privacy and data protection laws, which could increase compliance costs and potential liability. Diving into the numbers, collaboration revenue from BMS increased for the year ending December 31, 2024 due to recognition from licensing agreements. The revenue from Novo Nordisk for the share purchase stayed the same. On the expense side, a lot of cash is being poured into the berdomimab program, which includes their Phase 3 Afirmal clinical trial. They're also spending big on PRX012, their Alzheimer's candidate. These are the programs that they hope will pay off big time down the road. The document reveals that the FDA cleared the IND application for PRX019. There is potential to receive payments of up to $617.5 million with tiered royalties on annual worldwide net sales. That's huge for the company. Prothena relies on a tangled web of license agreements with universities and other companies. If they screw up the terms of these agreements, they could lose access to key technologies. That's why they have to be extra careful about managing these relationships and protecting their intellectual property. If they can't protect their patents and trade secrets, competitors could swoop in and steal their ideas. Even if Prothena gets a drug approved, they're not out of the woods. The FDA and other agencies keep a close eye on things. Any slip-ups in manufacturing or any unexpected side effects could lead to trouble, including withdrawal of approval. To get drugs approved faster, they are trying to get special designations from the FDA like Fast Track, Breakthrough Therapy, and Priority Review. These designations can speed up the process, but there's no guarantee they will get them. The markets for Prothena's potential drugs are incredibly competitive. They are up against major pharmaceutical companies with far more resources, and this is important. Even if their drugs are approved, they might not gain broad market acceptance. Switching gears, let's look at their stock. The market price of their ordinary shares may fluctuate wildly. Prothena doesn't anticipate paying cash dividends anytime soon, so investors are relying on the stock price going up. They mention a few accounting matters relating to US shareholders in particular, so if you're trading this, it may be a good idea to consult a professional advisor. Prothena relies heavily on third-party manufacturers to produce their drug candidates, so it can be a potential risk if these manufacturers screw up or can't meet demand. On the bright side, they got some good deals on licensing costs. Royalties to the University of California will only run them 1% on net sales of the relevant drug, which is in line with deals of this type. And as with all corporate reports, they end with legal disclaimers about potential risk factors, blah blah blah, and internal control over financial reporting. So after digesting this filing, what is my take on Prothena? On one hand, their pipeline is promising, especially berdomimab with its late-stage trial, and their Alzheimer's programs have blockbuster potential, maybe. Their partnerships with Roche and BMS validate their science and bring in much-needed cash. But it's also a high-risk, high-reward situation. They're burning cash, they need more funding, and they're facing stiff competition. Success hinges on clinical trial results, regulatory approvals, and the ability of their partners to execute. The path to profitability is not yet clear. However, if their main drug ends up failing, their stock may be in trouble. The success hinges on this very late-stage trial. I am worried for them. They need that cash from a success or the whole thing comes tumbling down. This is definitely a company to watch closely, but it's not for the faint of heart. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more corporate deep dives.